Hi!
Welcome to episode 2 of
Episode 2 of...
Max and Riley's video log.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about Programmed or Be Programmed. And we're going to go by each chapter and talk a little bit about it. Very short. Unlike the last video, which
20 minutes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. So let's not do that again, and let's jump right into it.
Alright.
Alright, so chapter 1, Time. Do not be always on. And the bold text in there says, because computer code is biased away from continuous time, so too are the programs built on it, and the human behaviors those programs encourage.
Well, what do you think?
I have to always be on. I
to
disagree with that completely. With everything that I'm involved with, if I don't respond to an email within 15 to 20 minutes of its being sent, then I'm too late. And it hasn't been dealt with quickly enough or efficiently enough. And yeah, I need to always be on.
I sort of agree with it. I agree with most of the text, actually, in a sense. I think you have to be on for certain things, like time-sensitive stuff. Especially as the world, the internet's evolving, it's kind of hard not to be on all the time. But I think there is some times where you just have to get off. So, next one is, what is this, place? Yeah, place. The bold is, digital media are biased away from the local and towards dislocation. Yeah. I'd agree.
Sure.
Again.
Yeah.
Because we have lots of different areas that internet is connected to, and you can connect from different places. Also, it makes sense that you wouldn't be, like, texting the person next to you. Although I've seen people do it, which is just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing he talks about with, like, the classroom that's simulating the United Nations.
Yeah, that was...
And they're all sitting in the same room.
With the computers at the virtual place where they're sitting in.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Like, practical use of place is pretty important.
Yeah. Like, using the internet as its own place to meet when you can't all be in the same physical space is a good idea.
Yeah.
But not the other one. I didn't found it. Okay, chapter 3, choice. You may always choose none of the above, or can you? The digital realm is biased towards choice, because everything must be expressed in the terms of a discrete yes or no symbolic language. This, in turn, often forces choices on humans operating within the digital sphere.
It's a big sigh.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Max?
I don't know. I see his point. Very pessimistic, I think, about every choice. Like, you're saying that putting in a username and signing up to an account is choice, and you're falling to the machine. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I think, I mean, some you have to kind of choose like choices all the time, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't really agree with them. Especially, you make one choice, and that making a choice is actually you letting something make other choices for you. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You get to make all your choices. Or at least should. As long as you're cognizant, I think that what to take away from this is to always be cognizant of what choices you're making.
Right, yeah.
So that you're not letting something make future choices for you.
I'd agree. What's the next one? The next one is complexity. This makes digital technology and those of us using it biased towards a reduction of complexity.
Is this your one with a note?
Oh, no.
No.
That's I don't know where that is. I really think, I don't know, there are lots of different complex areas of information, and I mean, you do have that, like, instant search, but, I mean, it's really up to the user to go into depth if he really wants to, or if she wants to. Again, it's user-controlled, so you could say that you're being like really biased and like very simple, but it's really up to you, not the internet itself, and how much you want to go in depth to. I mean, but our generation does kind of go on that one search and then look up the thing they're looking for, find the answer, and then use that, and then it just kind of escapes the mind. So that is a good point that he had.
I don't remember that chapter at all. I'm going to be quite honest.
That's fair.
So, Chapter 5, Scale. One size does not fit all.
That is the chapter I had that.
No, this is the one.
Sidebar. This sidebar.
No, let me read the bold text.
Come on.
If I can find it. Can't find it.
Alright, I'm going to read this section. This is really funny because this is a used
text.
book, and this is in the
Oh,
same
you
chapter
didn't
of
put that in.
complexity. No. For most of us, the announcement of the next great I thing provokes not eagerness, but anxiety. Is this something else we will have to pay for and learn to use? Do we even have a choice? And then a note on the book says, "What the fuck is this shit?"
I thought you wrote
He's
that.
a judge. No.
So, okay, that makes more sense. Okay. So the bold text is, on the net, everything is occurring on the same abstracted and universal level. Survival in a purely digital realm, particularly in business, means being able to scale, and winning means being able to move up one level of abstraction beyond everyone else.
It's a scale chapter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any opinions on this one?
I liked what he had to say about his friend Tom.
Because you have a friend to talk to.
True.
I didn't really. There wasn't a big. I mean, you do have abstractions in the internet, and it kind of goes all the way like forums on forums on forums. So I don't know. You kind of get pulled out of it a little bit. That's all I have to say. Riley.
Yeah.
That's great.
Chapter 6.
Wait, where's chapter 6? There it
Right
is.
after 5.
Identity. The less we take responsibility for what we say and do online, the more likely we are to behave in ways that reflect our worst natures, or even the worst natures of others. Because digital technology is biased towards depersonalization, we must make an effort not to operate anonymously, unless absolutely necessary. We must be ourselves. I think this is actually really key. This is I found this chapter probably the most interesting in the book, because you do have like lots of anonymous and anonymity to the internet. And for example, like if you do get, like everything he said in the chapter was really a good point in saying, like if you don't put yourself in there, you kind of get, it said in the text, depersonalized.
Yeah.
And you kind of fall into that mob tactic and gang up on people, or kind of just be really hostile. But I mean, sometimes anonymity is good, because you don't want to be on 4chan and post stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the difference between Reddit and 4chan, and the difference.
Yeah.
A lot of the difference is in anonymity, because on 4chan nobody really has an identity. You just kind of have a number, whereas on Reddit you actually have an identity, and people learn who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel you get a lot more out of a community in which you're
I
not
mean,
anonymous.
There are throwaway accounts, but people stick to
Those are for
people stick to the accounts they have. Also, but I mean, I don't want to be too criticized on 4chan, because they do have that group mind, but they do kind of help out in some ways. Although maybe not the best ways. Sometimes they do catch criminals, and some of the forums do have logins. But like B, where Anonymous came from, the hacker group, is very anonymous.
That's their name.
That's the circle jerk
Anonymous.
that is spawned from D.
Yep. Alright. 7. Social. Do not sell your friends. Our digital networks are biased towards social connections, toward contact. Any effort to redefine or hijack those connections for profit end up compromising the integrity of the network itself and compromising the real promise of contact.
Which one is this?
7. The one right after 6.
The
Social?
chapter name. Social.
Social.
I'd agree. Social. I mean, it's. I think the internet is not just about social. I think it's also about the spread of information.
Mm-hmm.
But social is a very big part of it, especially in our generation. Facebook, MySpace was before, at least, big part of our lives now. Especially like Facebook just takes over lots of people's lives. Just connecting, staying connected to friends, making friends you wanted to connect to in the past. They didn't have a chance to. I don't know why I'm speaking louder.
I used to talk to my mom. That's about it.
It's noble. I don't do that. Because my mom doesn't have a Facebook. Thank God.
Sad day.
Next chapter. It's
8.
Fact. The bias of our interactions in digital media shifts back towards the nonfiction on which we all depend to make sense of our world, get the most done, and have the most fun. The more valuable, truthful, and real our messages, the more they will spread and better we will do. We must learn to tell the truth.
I don't got a problem with that. I'm alright with that one.
Yeah, I do think this one is actually really important, but I do also feel as though the internet is also a good place to tell stories. Maybe not about personal things, but there are, I think, what was in the YouTube, what was it called? YouTube ethnography. Yeah, there is a story about the girl that didn't really exist, but was
Lonely Girl.
Yeah, Lonely Girl.
15.
Who was
16.
15, I think. Who was created by people, and it was a large backlash with it. So I think truths are very important sometimes, but in other senses, I think if you've ever heard of Slender Man was a scary story, scary creature creation
Like that.
contest.
Oh.
And there's actually a YouTube series on it, which is actually pretty scary, which kind of, I don't know, just kind of was really good story created. Also, I wanted to address in this thing, when he talks about memes, he is wrong. Just utterly wrong.
I don't know what he talked about.
No, just anything he says about the meme is just so out of context. Like his what is it? His example was something about the bazaar, and it doesn't really relate to anything. The thing I have a problem with this book is sentence structure, made up words a little bit, just a bit, and sometimes he just goes into things that I don't get his connection with the print press and the language. He keeps on going back to it. He doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Which kind of annoyed me a little bit about the book.
I feel like he's writing this book for people who are not going to read it.
Yeah, which is really...
He's writing it to the crowd that it's not marketed to.
It's really weird. But yeah, memes, the way he at least talked about them, didn't really... It bothers me. It was not correct. At least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, 9. What was that?
9.
Openness. Share, don't steal.
Digital
tech. This is mine.
Wait.
Odd numbers are mine. Yes, you did.
Oh, okay.
8.
Go for it.
9.
Alright.
9 comes after 8, Max. Digital technology's architecture of shared resources, as well as the gift economy through which the net was developed, have engendered a bias towards openness. It's as if our digital activity wants to be shared with others. As a culture and economy inexperienced in this sort of collaboration, however, we have great trouble distinguishing between sharing and stealing. Damn straight we do.
Yeah.
I feel that that's become such a blurred line.
There's a definite blur in that.
When I want to watch Rocky and I go to the Pirate Bay, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm sharing this. I'm thinking I'm going to pirate this shit from the Pirate Bay.
There is that sort of a grab for stuff that we want a little bit. I think there's a good quote that I just found recently on Reddit. It was about internet piracy and the whole debate. It was, in order to get things bought, you need to make it very simple, almost more simple than free stuff. So, free is like 1, 2 click. In order to compete with free, you need to be better than free. And that's how you compete against torrents and free sites. That was pretty interesting.